Hey guys, and welcome to Tim and Moby, I guess.
Oh yeah, the Everglades are one of the most unique areas in the world. There's all sorts of wildlife like herons, foxes, and alligators. Right, like that one. Dear Tim and Moby, I went on a field trip to the Everglades. Could you tell me more about it? From Ariel. I guess that's how they deliver mail around here. Anyway, Ariel, the Everglades is one of the world's largest wetlands. That's an area where the soil is completely soaked with water, either year-round or seasonally. It's located in southern Florida and covers more than 4,000 square miles. Much of the Everglades is a slow-moving river, but it also includes swamps, coastal islands, and lots of other ecosystems. In fact, before South Florida became heavily populated in the 20th century, the Everglades took up 1/3 of the state. It all starts in central Florida, near Orlando. There, the Kissimmee River flows southward into Lake Okeechobee. This enormous lake takes up hundreds of square miles, but it's only about 9 feet deep. At certain times of year, it overflows its banks and becomes a long, snaking river that stretches all the way to the southern tip of Florida. The Everglades are often called the River of Grass because much of the area is marshland filled with a plant called sawgrass. The edges of each blade have sharp little ridges, kind of like the teeth of a saw. Other parts of the Everglades have deeper water and very little grass. But it's not all submerged. Islands called hammocks rise up from the water throughout the Everglades. At higher elevations, the soil gets dry enough for pine forests to grow. And in coastal areas where fresh and salt water mix, there are mangrove forests. The trees there have extensive root systems, which often grow above the water level. Actually, there are only 2 seasons in the Everglades, wet and dry. The wet season lasts basically from summer through fall, while the dry season occurs in winter and spring. During the dry season, birds from all over the planet come to nest and lay their eggs in the Everglades. These birds are among the remarkable collection of animals that call the Everglades home. There are also Florida panthers, one of the most endangered species in the entire United States. Manatees, gentle aquatic mammals that look like big seals, and alligators and crocodiles, which can grow up to 15 feet long. Believe it or not, some people call the Everglades home too. During the 19th century, the Seminole Indians retreated there to avoid being conquered by white Americans. Today, many of their descendants still live in and around the glades. But these wetlands are important to everyone in South Florida. Just beneath the surface of the Everglades lies a huge aquifer. This underground river provides fresh water to millions of Floridians, and it all comes from the rivers and marshes above. Unfortunately, for much of the past century, people concentrated on draining the Everglades to make way for farms and communities. About half of the entire region came under development. But as environmental awareness grew, people started protecting this unique habitat. First, about 60 years ago, the federal government set aside 1.5 million acres of land as Everglades National Park. And beginning in the 1970s, the state of Florida began buying up land to make sure no one developed it. In addition to these conservation efforts, people are working to restore damaged areas. Millions of dollars have been spent to clean up water polluted by farms and cities. And many people donate their time to rid the Everglades of invasive species, organisms that aren't native to the area and threaten those that are. Everyone wants to make sure the Everglades are around for generations to come. Well, I'm glad that makes you happy. And I'm happy for you too?